God, how do you not love this song, right?
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. We're Boston strong forever. By the way, Adrianne Haslet is in the house.
What's up? It's so good to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. And by the way, I want a little shout out. I wore the dress colors. I don't wear this uniform every night. I usually wear my standard operations, but this is the dress uniform out of respect for you, my love.
Thanks, love. I appreciate it. I love this song because they're shipping up to Boston to find their left leg.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
no, stop. Look at that.
No, it's good. I love
Okay,
Dropkick
now-
Murphys.
It's like
They're
a
awesome.
theme song.
They're amazing.
That's awesome.
No,
Now,
it is.
listen,
That's what I'm saying.
Since you're getting right into it and you're having fun and you're all loose about this, are you hashtag I'm with Ian? And, or are you with us saying I'm not with Ian, meaning I'm not
Against
pro-terrorist? No, you're not into terrorism, but you're pro-terrorist. You
I
were
see-
right
I
on the
see
line,
what-
Ian, so we just had to send you one way or another.
I think it was. I'm not pro-terrorist.
Okay, so you're
I
not
hate
with.
to- I
no,
hate
it's
to
okay.
break-
I'm
I hate to
not
break
with
the
Ian.
news.
Hashtag not with you.
Hashtag not with you.
Christian, what is our hashtag? Is it I'm not with Ian or what?
Yeah, her hashtag, your hashtag would be just hashtag not with Ian.
Hashtag, okay, gotcha. But I know Jared at 32's with Ian. So Jared has so Ian has some support tonight, which is great.
No sarcasm there at all.
No, none.
Can I not be with Ian anymore?
That's why I said Ian's not with Ian.
You had to choose your words carefully. It's I remember, Adrian, when I met you, and I was so moved. We met at Maria's book signing, and beyond what you endured, just amazing girl, amazing spirit, and I was so touched, and I remember hugging you, and I didn't want to let go, and I said, I don't know whether to cry or beat the fuck out of somebody, and you said, and your response was, try being me every day.
Yeah. I love that response from you because I
Boston,
was like,
we're just extremists.
I know.
I can't help it. You just can't-
right? But it's so true. I mean, it's like that's what it is every day. You're like, oh, I don't know whether to cry or just beat the fuck out of somebody. You know? Yeah.
I pound hashtag I'm with Ian. Anyway, but it's funny. I don't know why. There's a lot of people out there who study the Manson case. A lot of us are fascinated by it, and it's just where
Me
they
too.
where they really.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so you'll understand what I'm about to say. So we're very close by to the Spahn Ranch where his headquarters was.
That's right.
And one of the reason that Sharon Tate's mother, Sharon Tate, who was one of the victims of the Manson family, and the sister, one of the reasons why they were for the death penalty and against all of them not being killed or whatever, it was the fact that every so few years they would have to relive the nightmare by going in front of the parole board to stop the parole of these people. And Manson in particular, who was so smart at human behavior and how to manipulate people, knew he was never getting out.
Yeah.
So he basically so enjoyed every 4 or 5 years getting the spotlight.
It's probably the best day of those 4 years.
Best day of those 4 years,
Yeah.
Rox.
You don't really have a lot to look forward to in there, right?
And he could, but
I'd have
this
to
was a
assume.
big, he knew he would get international publicity and he would grandstand and he'd pull out the biggest stops. And it's like, I'm changing the X on my head to a SWAT sticker. And now I'm doing t-shirts and I'm music. Now I'm into the environment. And he loved it. And finally I think it was around 94, 95, he did a Diane Sawyer interview. And finally the state of California got wise and said, okay, enough. We're not doing the publicity. But getting back to the Tates, one of the things that bothered them the most was that the wound had to get ripped the fuck open every goddamn 4 or 5 years. And with them, even worse because you had so many people. And I'm not for or against the death penalty. I'm not that person who says one's a deterrent, one isn't. Yeah. I believe if we had a jail system set up where they would be in a cell for 24 hours, we slid the food under the bars, and they only had a bed, you know what I mean, and nothing else, and that's it. I'll even give them the toilet. That's how generous I'm feeling tonight because I'm on 3 beers.
Shit and piss bucket.
No, I am, Adrian. I feel very good tonight.
Yeah.
I will give them a toilet that flushes. Ian, I know that you think that's very gracious of me.
Yeah, no, that's
right. I think that's very kind.
Yeah.
But and by the way, the food is all. By the way, it's all in its mashable form. So it's like almost pureed.
Yeah.
Chewed
Okay.
up and
Yeah.
spit out.
No, it doesn't. No,
I'm for
listen.
that.
Oh, that's on inhuman behavior, guys. I want to respect the fact that human beings. No, but I want it on a piece of paper that will be slid under, and then they'll have to return it in full form, or there'll be penalties. But the thing is, no, they don't even
Yeah.
get utensils. They can't take their own life. And to me, that's the best punishment rather than freeing them to like. Why should they go have 70 virgins? You know what I mean, and get killed. I'd like my 70 virgins. You know what I mean? Like that's a great scam. When you're,
Right.
you know what I mean? When you're a Muslim, right, and you give your life to the cause, you get 70 virgins. Could you imagine 70 Roxy's, 70 Laurens back when they were virgins?
Virgin.
Could a guy handle 70? I mean, that's a lot to
I mean,
handle.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
I think, yeah, but no. You have the Almighty and merciful Allah.
Right.
So giving you the strength. Okay, see, and what's that look? You're gonna
No.
hashtag I'm
He's
with
like,
Ian.
he's like thinking about it. He's like contemplating. Oh, maybe I could handle 70.
But anyway,
Well,
no.
yeah.
But anyway, I don't even
No.
want to give
No, I'm
them.
just-
I don't even want to give them that. And but I get.
You
but,
don't even
but
want to
it-
give them one virgin.
No,
No
but
virgin.
I don't even want to
Yeah.
give them. You sometimes
Not
the-
even a
the-
whore.
almost like it's something like death for them is almost too good. But
Yeah.
but the other thing I'll mention about our prison system, and then I want to get your thoughts, was the fact that the Mansons all lived like rock stars. And when I talked to people who worked in the system up there, even the women were celebrities in the jail cell, and they acted that way. Their noses were up in the air. Manson gets still to this day 2,000 or 3,000 letters a week.
Wow.
And he's got like either $400,000 or $600,000. He's not allowed to spend it, but he has it.
Yeah.
And when they ever put this fucking cocksucker, and by the way, I love how you will not mention their names because nor the fuck will I.
Yeah.
But and again, Ian's going to take up for Rolling Stone. Hashtag I'm with Ian if you're at home. But for Rolling Stone to put that, by the way, Jared, do not put the Rolling Stone article up right now or the cover up, please. Thank you.
That was the fucking worst day of the entire year.
And by the way,
Yeah.
I'm all for
It
moving.
was-
I'm all for moving the needle in business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I get it.
Right.
But you know what? No.
Looking like a
Fuck
fucking
you.
rock star.
You
on
still
the
have to be
fucking
you have to
cover.
be a patriot first, and how fucking dare you?
Yeah.
And by the way, Adrian, you're gonna weigh in, but Ian, please tell us why, because Ian's gonna tell us why Rolling Stone had the right to do that. Ian, please, if you would.
Well, the
Hashtag
thing of
I'm
it
with
is-
Ian.
No, I know that's unexcusable.
Even for
Absolutely.
you?
Yeah, even that was insane.
I don't know anybody who's like, yeah, that was the right move.
But hashtag I'm with Ian. He's just nervous
So,
now.
Ian, what would
Ian, you're
people
with
say?
friends. You can tell us the truth. It's the
No.
American way. That's how the Constitution was built, on free speech. Go ahead, tell me.
Well, I do want to say about Adrian, when she walked in and she was saying about choosing either like the two ways you can go within the struggle. I see pure positivity from you. So like you lit up the room,
Yeah, no,
your
she does.
smile.
She does.
Like I see all positivity.
She
so.
absolutely does. You're avoiding the question, but she absolutely
okay,
No,
does.
I'm just, well, that's my choice.
Roxy,
to look
thank you.
at things in a positive, like I feel like you take things and make them positive. I don't know unless
Okay,
Thank
but
that's what I'm seeing from you. So and
we're
that's
seeing that, but we're not even on Adrian right now. We're on the fact that you're supporting Rolling Stone for putting that motherfucker on the cover.
we got to move magazines. Come on.
all right.
We gotta move
No,
magazines.
I get it. It's
Moving
the
units, that's what it
Constitution. I
is.
get it. I get it.
Well, I always support free
Hashtag
speech, but
hashtag I'm with. See, hashtag
I
I'm
do,
with
but
Ian.
I think it's wrong. It's atrocious. It's
But to your
awful.
point, I love it. You said do not mention his name. Do not. And by the way, again, to the reason why I think this guy, we need to wrap up his life is because of that article and that cover, he will live like a rock star in jail. He won't have the unbelievable like rock star life,
No.
but in prison he will though.
No.
Roxy?
Raped in the ass
No.
every day.
So first of all, he's a high profile person.
Right. So,
So-
raped in the ass
so
every day.
Let's go over the famous people in jail. The Menendez is married. Like one's been married a couple of times. Like you have no idea the lifestyle these guys get to achieve because at some point, Rox, 5, 6, 7 years, everyone kind of forgets and goes away.
No freaking
And these
way.
guys, I wish Joe were here. By the way, I don't want to bring Joe in right now. If you can get Joe in the booth, he'll tell you about life in prison. But I won't bring him in. I am telling you, you don't think he's getting marriage proposals now?
Maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe from his country.
Okay, Adrian, please speak.
Yeah. So
Hashtag Roxy, I'm with Ian. Go ahead.
So he did. I mean, it was crazy. I testified in the sentencing phase of the trial. So I faced him head on,
Right.
and which was
How close? You guys were literally.
we
like
were.
this
I
distance
was the distance from myself and this chair here. So
You said in a quote you actually could have taken a swing or done something.
Yeah, I paused as soon as I got off the stand, and I stood there, and
my God.
nobody from security tried to stop me. Security was on the other side, and I just stopped, and I was like, I wonder if he's scared right now.
Was he looking at you?
He had his head down, but his peripherals could see me easily. I mean, we were really close.
Did he look up during your testimony at all?
Halfway up. He never looked at anybody. Some people think that was because he could have cared two shits, and some people think that in his culture that eye contact is disrespectful.
probably a combination of both.
Yeah, I don't know which one. I'd like to think
Let's ask Ian for the other side of it. Ian, why?
No, he's a coward. He couldn't look someone. Yeah,
Do you think it?
he's a coward.
Yeah, I mean, when Rolling Stone came out, and I was so fucking pissed. I was so pissed, and I was like, the mayor of Boston wrote, the governor of Massachusetts wrote Rolling Stone. Everybody wrote these open letters, and we're just pissed. People were in Boston, Boston, right? So they were like turning magazines around, tearing them open, throwing them off shelves. Stores were getting angry. Stores were choosing to boycott.
No, I feel like we should
the
even
whole
done more.
thing.
Now that I think about it, we should have all done more.
Yeah, it was really awful. And it's they did it. I agree with you. It's for there is a business, but you can put somebody else on there. That's
You don't have to
gonna
put them
do-
on the cover.
Right.
You can do,
And
you know.
what? I would be fine. Here's the interesting thing. Maybe people would agree with me, maybe not. I would be fine if they put him on the cover when he was getting out of the boat and he was all jacked up from our badass police fucking him up. But
Right.
I wouldn't be okay with him being put on the cover looking like a selfie or whatever that was.
I'd like one that said,
You know
ha,
what I
ha,
mean?
ha.
Proud of
Or you know what?
himself,
No.
yeah.
Hashtag how you like me now.
I'm not
you know.
supporting the cover, but I'm saying if they
No.
had to choose to, that would be the one I would
Nope,
pick.
but not them.
Yeah.
Um,
But I was pro death penalty. I testified pro death penalty.
I know because
Yeah.
because why would you want to relive this?
Right.
Do you want to
You
go
don't.
face this guy every 5 years? He gets to parade himself out like a peacock, and
Right.
and
No.
that's what people aren't considering.
Right.
More so than that, I also feel like this isn't the kind of guy who sits in prison and thinks and sits there and is like, "Oh, I fucked up, man." I don't think that he's like that. So when you're not the kind of person who's going to stew on this and be miserable your whole life, we might as well end your life.
By the way, when I
Agreed.
studied the Mansons, the Manson women, it was reported that it took them to become born again and denounce Charlie. It took them until it was the early 90s with
Wow.
some of them. Can you imagine? That's 3 decades before they finally went, oh, okay, you know what? Guess we're never getting out of here. Guess maybe this whole Manson thing wasn't such a cool thing after all. And guess what? Now I found Jesus. Anyway,
How convenient.
How convenient. I know, right?
it's like I don't want the families to have to relive this, and I do think that he will have a rock star life. He will probably get married, if not once, multiple times, as the Manson women did too.
Yeah.
In their
the outside the courthouse, he had a ton of supporters that were out there, and I was like, "Are you
What the-
freaking
what-
kidding
wait
me?"
a
What does a
second,
supporter
how the
look
fuck?
like?
Wait, how does
Oh,
that happen
yeah.
in Boston? Nobody beat them up in Boston. That
Well, they
doesn't
flew in from. I chose not to find out where.
Wait, sorry. What's a supporter? Are they holding signs?
They're holding
or-
signs to support, and I was taken in a dark car and in this back entrance because they don't want anybody to be. They don't want to know who's testifying that day to protect them.
I'm like, so you know
But
what?
they had people out there that were supporting him, and they had a choice of whether or not they could be there. And then they were like, "Well, it's freedom of
speech.
whatever."
You
yeah.
hate cameras now, but old Boston,
Yeah.
it was great. Ian, the cops would be like, "Evening, ma'am. How are you?" To the civilian, they'd look to the left, and then to the right, they would just beat the bag out of somebody behind the closed doors. And it just because I know the cops there. There's no way they must have been violent to have to. God, I'm so mad. I mean, guys, I'm so
sure-
mad we didn't do anything out here.
I'm
Now
sure
I
that-
hear this. You
Well,
know?
Boston cops. I mean, it was so hard on them. They're so badass. I'm sure they wanted
So
to beat the
badass.
crap out of those guys.
And
I'd like to think they did, and we just don't know.
but wait, but were the supporters the idiot women that would fall in love with him, or were the supporters from the radical communities?
Both.
I can't believe somebody had the fucking audacity to stand there with a
Where's
sign.
Joe? Like somebody get Joe. Joe would
he's
just be.
right there.
My heart just fell.
Right?
Hearing that happened in Boston. I mean,
Joe,
I wasn't there.
Joe, how fast? If we went to U-Haul, rented a van, went to Charlestown
Loaded up
or
the
South
goons.
Boston and said, guys,
Yep.
guess what? It's an FP. It's a free play. Let's go. Uncle Kevin's bailing everyone out. Let's get all of it. Let's get it all out of our system.
In
This
a
is an
heartbeat.
easy target,
Absolutely.
right?
In
And
a
they would all
heartbeat.
come.
In droves.
Oh my God!
Let me
This is
tell
the
you.
times
Yeah.
where like I'm
Yeah,
grateful.
exactly.
On paper, all I own is a '94 van, the party van, which you
I
were
love the party van.
Right?
I was all about it. The mirrors on the ceiling. You brought me a beer.
in. Yeah,
You like
were
the
I
just-
was
disco
like,
ball?
it was awesome. The
No,
disco ball
by the way,
is right up my
we,
alley.
we did a nice photo, which we'll put up on our Tomorrow Show Instagram. And you
It
know
was
what?
awesome.
It was nice, and then we did like several photos because being creepy guy, it was just nice to be that close to her because.
I
just
loved
very
it.
pretty
I loved
girl.
it. Oh, thanks.
But by the way, yeah, Joe, it's like hearing that. I can't even believe like that happened without a beatdown. But I know that maybe because cameras are on.
Well, but it's still shocking. You know, some of the goons we know back there, can't forget it. I mean, there
And-
must
yeah.
have been
Yeah, cameras are not.
barricades. What? I mean, to keep them away. I myself, if I was there, I would have been down there, smashing heads, easy. And you know, at least 2 dozens of my friends. I mean, I just can't believe that went on.
Yeah, it's almost like you'd rather do the time.
How
I
many?
would've
How
gladly.
many of them? Do you
Gladly.
feel like it was like a couple?
There
or
was there was like a dozen-ish people.
That's fucking
Like I
disgusting.
looked at them and then I was like, I can't even be in that brain space. And then I just
Yeah.
looked for it.
God, it almost like you hate to advocate.
Because I didn't want to see that. Sorry,
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
didn't even want to. I didn't even want to see that, like, memorize their face. So I like looked over, and then the news covered them a lot and like kept showing pictures.
Because
of
you
the
probably
group of
don't.
them.
You don't
They were
want to
devoted
have.
every day.
Yeah, you don't want to have that much hate for like any or image to attach with that feeling you have. So you probably just it's better off not looking so you don't fucking think of that every.
Right, because then if I ran into him at a Boston bar somewhere,
Yeah.
What those people? Yeah.
yeah,
I
I'd be
mean,
like,
I hope
oh,
they
I've
wouldn't be
seen
at.
you before.
I would hope they wouldn't be at one of our bars. But,
No.
I'm sure.
No
right.
way.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I know Moving Hen. I want to just make a mention. You also mentioned the charity that you're working with, or the cause anyway. And I you also educated me that I didn't know about that and about people in our country, our amputees in our country, and how they really don't have access to artificial limbs, and people
It's true.
right? And like
Yep.
it seems like we're insured for everything else. Like literally, Joe and I joke about we have so many friends who have been addicts, professional addicts for like 20 years, right?
Solid.
Right? Who
Solid.
just know how to work the system.
Yep.
And they will see like pictures on Facebook where they're in different parts of the country,
All over
right?
the world.
Right?
Well, crazy. It's like it almost pays to be a junkie nowadays. The system's rigged in their favor.
Wait. So what do they get
Oh,
for being
it's
a junkie?
just
like?
it's rehab, and then even like I know Joe, you had an incident where it was post trauma, and like
Yep.
you had just told me over lunch the other day that they literally were gonna like say carte blanche, right?
Cash
Explain.
it in. Well, I mean, I had an incident probably about 12 years ago, and I went to see a therapist, and they said, sign here, initial here, and dot here, and you'll never work again a day in your life. You will be fully taken care of, a check every month, food stamps, doctor's visits, a free transportation. And I'm like, are you serious? I want to work. I'm just having problems sleeping,
And
But
they,
that's
right?
all I had to do, and I
It's-
would have been set for life.
And so we have people in our country who lose limbs, and we're not taking care of them. So tell us about that.
Exactly. And Joe, that's totally true. We give money to one certain area and then deprive an entire group of people. There are 200,000 amputees in this country and growing, 800 children every year due to lawnmower accidents alone in this country.
Lawnmower accidents?
Isn't yeah.
Wow.
We opened with the lawnmower song today.
Oh, crazy. So Limbs for Life is an organization that gives limbs for life to people that cannot afford them. And they have a waiting list of hundreds of people that I've been working with this organization for years. They're legit. They aren't the kind of organization that pays their CEO a ton of money and all of that. I've researched them. They're amazing people. They started after the Oklahoma City bombing. They give limbs for life to people that can't afford it. So one thing that I certainly didn't know anything about prosthetics before this, but one thing that is really interesting that people don't really know is that you change limbs so often due to like 5-pound or 10-pound, which could be like a Thanksgiving dinner, right? Let's all face it. And
Depending on your weight, you need a different.
you needed adjustments all the time. And if you're active and you have more muscle gain or less muscle gain, you need limbs for life, and they provide that. But the reason they exist is because insurance companies are crap, and they think that it's a luxury to have a limb.
Okay, and how do hashtag I'm with Ian. How do you support the insurance companies? What's that?
Making them the villain.
It's right. It's business, and they're entitled to run the businesses their way, and that's the principles of our Constitution.
Well, even if that was, I think that we should all go out and make sure that people support this charity.
But
and it won't matter what
in
the
private
insurance
practice,
companies do,
but
right?
Ian, in private practice, right? Corporations still.
I don't know.
So can I ask you then?
Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years. How many limbs have you had to have?
Way more than I can count.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So this isn't one of those things where even like a couple of years, like sometimes every few months you need a new one.
So at the beginning, your leg is super angry from just being amputated. It's all swollen, and the bones and the nerves and the muscles have all been sewn back together, and they're super angry and they're swollen, and then you start to shrink down and shrink down and shrink down, and then you become really small. So I was going through legs every 2 weeks the first year and a half.
So some people need to pay for those legs every couple of weeks if they can.
Most
people.
insurance don't only cover like one limb every 3 to 4 years.
Hashtag I'm with Ian.
Yeah, right. Hashtag I'm with Ian if you think that that's crazy, or think that that's
That's okay.
that's okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I was going through a ton of them, and that's what everybody does when you first become an amputee, because you're changing size. Your leg is all sorts of angry, and then you become more active and you get bigger because you build muscle, and then you need more legs again. But yes, there is a time later on where you stop. You can have one for 6 months ish, depending on activity.
What would the alternative be? Like, what do they say? Okay, we won't give you another leg. We'll give
Use crutches or a wheelchair.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, if it's your right leg, you can't drive, or if it's both legs, then you don't return to the workplace, or you don't look your lover in the eye when you stand up and kiss them, or you can't, walk downstairs, or you can't, I mean, it's maddening. It's a human rights issue. If you think about, I can get on my soapbox about this all day.
No, it's okay.
But it's a human rights issue. If you think about people taking away eyeglasses and contact lenses,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
and charging $17,000, $150,000 for them. Can you even imagine? None of us would even go to
How
work.
much
We
is-
wouldn't even be here.
What's the average, on our leg, on our piece?
It's
limb?
so I'm only really familiar with below knee, because that's what I am. Knees and above knee is just an insane amount.
It's way more expensive.
It's hundreds of thousands, yeah. And because the mechanics of a knee are just so complex.
Right.
But the below knee is average, like it could be 7,500 up to 15,000, 25,000. But that's the basic that you add in if you get like a mechanical ankle or anything like that. It's just skyrockets.
And you need a different one to run.
Yes.
I mean, you want to be athletic.
They think that's a luxury, so it's never covered by insurance.
What?
Hashtag I'm with Ian.
Because
Hashtag
of
I'm with Ian.
the circumstances that you went through, do you feel like that you get better treatment than a lot of other amputees out there do?
Yeah, so it's interesting what Joe said, because I actually went to Congress. Congress really hates me, and so does Medicare, and I'm so proud of that. I went to
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hashtag Ian. And hashtag I'm with Ian.
I'm with Ian.
And
Boston girls have the best sense of humor.
Yeah.
I have to tell you.
thanks, love. And so I got a call, and my prosthetist, which is very close to prosthetist, the guy who makes my legs, got a call from the U.S. government and said, we don't want Adrianne going to Congress anymore. We're going to cover a water leg and a running leg for her. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, for the cost of that, like, I can pay for it because in Boston we were supported so well, but there are so many people,
Okay.
like, you could knock a ton of people off the waiting list for Limbs for Life by what you're doing for me. And I told them that, and I was like, what's your name? And they're like, we're not going to give you a name. And I was like, what? You're ridiculous. So that's why I'm choosing to give back.
It's hashtag Adrianne Strong Team, because you are running the marathon.
I am running the marathon.
So proud of you for this.
Thanks. 19 days and counting.
Wow. And have you done the half marathon yet? Like, to train?
I
know
have.
it's
I
pretty
have.
rigorous.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? It's on a Monday, right?
It is. It's on
Oh,
Patriots Day. It's on
Should
the
we-
18th this year.
I mean, like, I'm. Yes, this is good when I drink, because I really get like silly.
Yeah. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. Thank you,
Cheers,
honey.
love.
Thank you,
Thanks
Adrian.
for the drink.
Hashtag I'm with Ian. No, not. But I feel like wouldn't it be great to go there and we could broadcast from there? And Phil Svitek of the USS AfterBuzz, is it possible to, boy wonder, boy genius, is it possible for us in 19 days to do the Tomorrow Show from Boston, to watch the marathon, then go up live after?
If we can resurrect the man curtain in 2 days, I think anything's
You
possible.
see that?
The man curtain was
the man
brilliant, by
curtain
the
went
way.
up in hours.
I
You're
know.
right.
I mean, people can't make that shit happen. You
I
can
can.
make it happen.
That's
I
what
feel
I
like
do.
it would be awesome to have you in Boston.
Oh, we would cheer you.
I would
on
give you the
so fucking hard.
sweatiest,
Okay.
exhausted
yeah,
hug
no.
ever.
Here's what I think, guys. So here's how it comes together in my brain, as it's my pickled brain. I think that we attend, and I think that Uncle Kevin makes some calls, and we think we get a bar on Com Ave, and I think we broadcast from there.
Wow.
What do you think?
You know I'm all in. My whole family will be there. All my friends. It's my life. So I would
I
love
love it.
to.
I learned Com Ave. I'm on Com Ave.
That's crazy.
All right.
We're like neighbor
Oh my gosh.
sisters.
Okay,
Something.
booth.
That's what
who's-
they call
All right,
us.
in the booth, who's in?
I'm in.
I'm totally in as long as I can get the time
I'm in.
off.
Oh yeah, you're right. You have
From Admiral Maria.
Admiral
Admiral
Menounos.
Maria.
You know, Maria's she's not as much fun as Uncle Kev. But
I
she
bet
might
she
for you though,
broadcasts.
Adrian. She would actually for you. Yeah, she would.
If you
love
guys
her.
can broadcast from there, so can we. So it's all in it.
Actually, you know what? And Phil, they could be in the booth here if they, basically if we could go with the skeleton crew, we could take the shuttlecraft. We
You
could
should
go.
bring the van.
Yeah, the
Sure.
van.
Yeah, but by the way, I'd ask Ian, but I'm sure he wouldn't come. So because it's hashtag I'm with Ian. Ian, you won't go from Chicago to Boston, right?
Of course I would. And
No, stop.
should
Of
we-
course I would. What are you talking about?
I
Be
wanna-
honest. Don't lie. She's here. Will you be brave enough to tell the truth?
No, I was thinking I'd run it as well with her.
Are you-
and
Do
I'd
you
go,
think
I'd
in
get
19
I'd get a
days?
couple miles,
No, you'd-
and you could.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
know,
because you'd get
leave me in the
injured.
dust. Oh yeah, no. But I'd do a I'd start
Do a
out, I
couple
guess.
miles.
Yeah,
cheer
why not?
cheer me on in the first
Yeah.
couple miles.
It's a fun night. It's a fun day out in Boston, by
Yeah,
the way.
it is.
But it's
It is.
amazing that you're doing it, and so far everything's good with the training.
Yeah, I've been really lucky. Knock on wood, whatever.
Knock on.
Anything. And I've
Acrylic.
been I've been acrylic, and I feel really lucky. I've had some muscle soreness and some inflammation in my hip for a second, but I got through it. And
Okay.
so normal running stuff. But I'm really lucky that as far as my leg goes, I haven't had any skin irritations or.
Do you have a running
any
buddy
problems.
that you'll be doing it with? Or anyone?
Yeah, I'm running
Okay.
with my team. It's like 5 friends of mine. So
Have they been training too?
They've been training too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Right.
all running it together, so we're running as a group.
And it's for Limbs for Life Foundation,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
This might be a silly question, but how much more difficult is it to run now than it was previously?
Great question. So I was not a runner before. I was a dancer.
You were
So
a
I
dancer,
actually
yeah.
was interested in getting the blade and had showed interest in getting the blade because I thought it would make me faster on the jive, rather than
Right.
actually running. And then I decided, I really want to try it. So the blade is actually longer so that in the shock absorption, your hips are in alignment. And so you kind of look like a horse because your left knee needs to go higher. It's hilarious. But you actually exert like a lot more energy than the average runner.
Wow.
Because of that. It's hard to use, but it became a challenge that I wanted
And
to
so
overcome.
love
so
that.
for people who listen to the show or whatever, how can we support you? So how do we where do we send money? Because obviously we want to raise money for the team, right?
Yeah, if you hashtag Adrianne Strong and go to
Adrian, is it Adrian Strong? Sorry.
it's hashtag Adrianne Strong, or you go to limbsforlife.org.
Okay.
Will lead you to my team's crowd rides page that's on the Boston Marathon page.
And before we go out, I know the first thing I thought of when we met you is like, okay, I gotta use some underpower. That's my little
Undergaro,
I love
Underpower,
it.
yeah.
I love it.
to let's see if we can't open some doors at Dancing with the Stars, because I feel it
love
fits like
that.
a glove. Did
I would
You
love
would
that.
be
did Karen take you? So
amazing.
so if you ever watch Goodfellas, like, right, Karen. See, that's where Jared at 32 would drop it. There you go. Right. So Karen is that's my fun name for Maria. But wasn't Karen supposed to take you to a taping?
Yeah, so I went on Monday. I went to a taping.
And Karen wasn't able to go, right? Or did she go?
She didn't go with me, but I.
Fucking Karen.
I saw that you talked to Kristen Burt, who's an
I did.
AfterBuzz host of ours. We love her
I
over
love
there.
her.
Yeah,
Right.
she's
I
the
love her.
best.
She's amazing.
So we're gonna work that scam.
I'd love that.
And
I'd love
we're gonna
that.
work that scam, and Uncle Kev, the Hollywood career coach. We're gonna talk about some other stuff too. Like you don't don't do what Ian does. Don't do career moves without me. We need like books and things like that. We got to make lemonade out of this. Or better yet, we need to make lemon slush.
Lemon slush? I like
because
lemon
slush is delicious.
Lemon slush is delicious.
It's a fucking amazing.
It's fucking
Watermelon
amazing.
and lemon, right?
Yeah,
Is
right?
The Ronnie's or whatever that
Is Ronnie's, but Richie's.
Richie's.
Classic.
Better.
There was a Ronnie's for a while,
Yeah,
but
Richie's is better.
we took him out. I know
Lemon
Richie
slush.
for years being in the carny business. But yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so we need to work on some stuff for you. We're going to bring you back.
You're
Next time
amazing.
you're in LA, you're coming in. No, you're amazing. I am going to actually work
I
on.
felt so connected to you guys when I met you. I was just
Yeah,
like, you're
Boston.
just, it's Boston, right?
Well-
You just know right away.
No,
I cannot wait till you cross that finish line.
By the way,
y-
so Rox,
you
are
and me
you
both,
like?
sister.
You think
Yeah.
we're gonna help this or no? Can we like make this scam happen in
yeah,
19 days?
I mean, the second
You're right.
we're
If
done
I can
with
make
this
a man
broadcast,
curtain,
yeah.
why can't I like take?
Just the minute
take
we're
a
done
whole
with the
show to
Kick
broadcast-
ass
Boston.
at like making things happen.
Oh,
Kevin,
by the way,
if anybody can do it, you can do
The
it.
problem is Admiral Menounos, aka Karen, is usually yeah, the fun police come out and just immediately pull the plug on stuff. So I know, Lauren, you just laugh, but Lauren, what's the over under? Wait, is Joe in the booth? Joe, what's the over and under on Karen
Letting
pulling
us go?
Yeah, pulling the plug on this.
She'd probably be into it.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's a Boston Marathon.
I would love to.
But by the way, and then it's the tug of war. Joe's the human wishbone because I need him to have my back in Boston, and then she won't want to give him up.
I
So-
won't be able to go, but I will pull to have you guys go.
Oh, I can have
because-
some people from the Gears that help me. Joe,
that'd be no problem.
from the
You'll
team,
be
from
all right.
Joe's family. All right,
Absolutely.
that'll have my back.
I'll work on it.
Okay, you guys pull up. I want you to pull up Kevin Garnett. We're gonna pull up Kevin Garnett doing push-ups, and we're going out with Boston. And I want to show you a nice video that I watch probably every 2 weeks. And yeah, Maria Karen's pretty critical, but that's okay because now I have my man curtain up so I can watch this. Okay, so here we go. We're watching this video, Adrian, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Garnett gets the ball in the paint. Watch, 3 guys slam him to the ground. Slam right to the
snap.
ground. Right now he's out. He's down. He's down. Okay, this is the Marathon Bombers have blown him up. Okay, but look at him. Okay, nope. He rolls over. Right. Okay, knuckles to the
Oh,
knuckles.
push-ups
snap.
on the. I want to do them right now.
I know, right?
I want to.
Kevin,
I
don't
want to
hurt
get out there and
yourself.
do it. Look at that. Look at that. He walks out.
Snap.
I'm gonna do it on. I'm gonna do it on the music. Look at that. Look at that. Now we're gonna watch the replay. Here we go. So we get a better angle. 3 guys slam down Kev to the ground. Yep. Yeah. Let's
back.
throw this old guy down the heat. Let's make our statement. Look at this. Push-ups on. You know what he's saying? Fuck you, bitches. Fuck you, terrorists. Fuck you. I'm with Ian. So that's you. That's what you're doing. You're
I
doing your
fucking
push-ups
love
on your
that.
fucking knuckles.
I'm
This is
not
my
with you.
this
No,
is my
fuck
favorite
that.
video ever.
That's what I'm saying. We're running
Fuck
that
yes.
fucking race, and I'm seriously. And if you go down, you're getting back the fuck up.
Yes.
And I'm all right. Give me my drop kick Murphys, and I'm gonna
Yes.
do some push-ups on my fucking knuckles.
Where are you going?
Right down here. Give me
Yes.
Take us out of here. Adrian, I love you.
I love you, babe.
Yeah, she is our very own live Kevin Garnett with the knuckle push-ups. Oh, he's down. He's down. I'm coming. Do we even have him on camera? You can only see him when he comes up. Oh, he's on the knuckles, though. You're on those knuckles. Oh! Do you want a hand up? Nope. On the knuckles. Knuckle push-ups. Oh, my God. I'm watching this. Look, his veins popping out of him. Oh, my God. Kevin! Woo! Yeah. That's okay. Wow. I don't think I could do 1 knuckle push-up, let alone all of those that he just did. I would not
Super
be able
impressive.
to survive that. Yeah.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man. No, I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AfterBuzz TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out, give them a holler, and tell them the old woolly bear sent you. AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Oh my goodness.
You got so excited there.
Yeah.
It's my music.
That's your music. Kirsten is it Vangsness?
It's Kristen Vangsness.
Kirsten Vangsness.
But you may call me whatever your mouth
Okay,
decides.
because thank you for being so down to earth and dealing with my drinking. And Phil, what about one for David? That's my
you're David the son.
that's my shit name.
I don't know why it's hard for Bostonians to say Kirsten sometimes. Everybody there is.
it's hard for
Kirsten.
everybody.
Yeah. No. We got you now.
By the way, you know.
This song is making me anxious.
Okay, okay. So what else do you like? Let's make it fun for you. I don't
No,
want
it's
you to be
okay.
anxious.
It's okay.
No, because that was Adrian's
No.
story, and you get it. It's like that was we're all like very emotional, except
Oh,
Ian.
absolutely.
Ian's not.
No, you know what? I am Team Ian, and I am also emotional, and I will
Yeah,
stand
I'm
behind
with
that.
Ian? You're with
because,
Ian?
Well, I'm with Ian because
Okay,
it's
no.
absolutely.
I didn't think anybody was going to. Wow.
I
love
am.
that. I love that.
I am, but I'm also with Adrianne, and you guys. Except, although I don't agree with that, I am so embracing your belief because I don't know who fucking knows what's right and wrong.
You're right,
It's
yeah.
just not my. I don't feel like I have the. I don't. I have not been ever in my life put in the position to decide, or
Somebody's
not
fate.
of
Right,
somebody
no,
else.
you-
And
yeah,
I haven't lived in those situations. However, had I'm positive that my viewpoint on it would be completely different. So I mean, that's
that's the. By the way, so that's hashtag I'm with Ian. That's your argument now to use against us.
Also, for a lot of things, it's very easy to intellectualize things, and then you get in front of, and this is politics, this is everything. Then
Yeah.
you get in front of somebody who's really had an experience with something.
But still, I used to work at a group home. It was one of my day jobs. And you take this little being where monsters were created by monsters, and you know that these kids that have been institutionalized their whole life are going to end up being institutionalized. And then they're going to be a monster. And then somebody doesn't know what the trajectory of their life had at the beginning part. And then we say, oh my God, it's horrible what you're doing, but it's horrible what happened to them. So it's not my place. In my position, I am not talking about what you guys were talking about before. I'm just saying that to segment out and to say in this moment you are a real ass face, which absolutely, and like abominable, and your behavior is unacceptable, period, paragraph, end of story. But I feel like that segments a person, and people do heinous, terrible things that no one ever sees, and they don't get any.
Hashtag I'm with Ian.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way,
but
no,
I
but
don't
by the
know.
way-
I'm not saying I'm right.
No, and no. You make first
You're
of all, you make
agnostic in this.
no. You make a
situation, yeah.
great. You make a great point. For me, my civilian self, my past self, I would have been just killing for revenge. The only thing I'm speaking to is I don't really want to see these people relive the nightmare.
Oh, I
And
100% agree.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
terrible.
I don't think these guys
Oh,
deserve to have a
definite.
rock star
no,
life.
No.
So
And
that's where I was
agree with
coming
you,
from.
100%. I was just saying that there is all kinds of. Isn't it wonderful? We live in a world where there's all kinds
No, but
of
the
things.
second thing I'll say is I can already tell you're a real sweetheart. No, you are. You're.
I have an
you are.
incredible dark edge.
I know you do as a performer, and you can tap it, but you can tap it when you need to. I know that.
Yeah.
But I see it in you, and I love it. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite things. I mean, listen, you're part of this like huge network franchise, and I love it, and you're very blessed. But what stands out the most to me, and I was telling these guys, is the fact that you went to Cerritos High School.
I did.
And Cypress College, or you attended Cypress College. And if anyone knows, like that's just it's a very small city here in Orange County.
Yes. I was born in Pasadena. I was raised in Porterville, California, which is in the Central Valley. It's got a Jackass mail run. It's known for that. And then I lived in Orange County. Yeah, tiny little place.
And then you went to Cypress College. And when I was explaining to Roxy, our own Roxy Stryer here, who's someone of privilege, and who's got family members who work in the biggest parts of the Hollywood industry, and I think of some of Maria Menounos, my fiance's friends, and Maria, aka Karen from Goodfellas. That's my nickname for her. But Karen's friends, they're all. It's all not all of them, but the majority of Harvard University, or I've what are the big acting colleges that
Juilliard, Northwestern, Carnegie Mellon.
That's right. All of Ian's contemporaries studied there, and what I fucking love about you is that
Ernest Borgnine went to Cerritos Community College.
Okay, but again,
he didn't.
Okay, he did.
No, he didn't.
Okay, but I was gonna say, but you know what? But Kirsten, even if he did.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Exactly.
He's 90-something years old.
You don't know when you're in it, though. When you're just doing it, you don't. Thank God. I didn't think like this won't work. I just thought I was gonna live on cat food for the rest of my life. So.
But I think there's a bigger story here that you don't realize, because you're like Maria Karen. You're just busy doing being you.
Right.
And it's working. But I know that there's a great majority of people in our world that dream of being successful or doing what you're doing, and you're such an inspiration to those people, and that's what I'd like to get in your head, like how you got there.
I will tell you, it's funny that you're saying that, and I'm going to do a shameless sort of plug.
Please
right now.
do it.
But I was going to say that the only thing I was really good at was acting, even though I was a starving artist and had to have 15-day jobs, and someone could see me in a play and go, "Oh wow, she's good at that." But I didn't feel like I had the right to get paid for it. I didn't feel like that. You guys are so engaging. I don't know who to look at.
It's okay.
And then just slog forward.
So head down, like blinders on.
But not, when I say blinders on, I don't mean like going to the audition. I couldn't get an audition. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have anything. And then you get an agent, but they won't spell your name right, and you don't get sent out for anything. So you have an agent, but no one's ever heard of them, and they don't, and they're mad at you when you call to try to give them new headshots because they don't like your old, and you can't afford, like, all that stuff, like all of that. But I didn't even have one of those. I couldn't even get a job. I was living in Artesia for 2 years into Criminal Minds.
But you did
I don't even know what Artesia is.
Exactly.
But
my point is, I
did
high school theater. I did. I have been
so
almost.
I just want to make sure I want to clarify to everybody. It wasn't like some stories you had at 1 million where you just discovered.
No, I did theater in high.
Right.
I have done.
You worked at
present tense. I have been in at least 2 plays a year since I was about 14.
You hear that, Ian? And Roxy, who thinks it comes so fucking easy.
And then when I was just doing it, then I was like, my mom was like, you need to go get something, you need to get a job in something like else. And I was just like, I remember going in after I graduated from college. I got a fancy audition and I brought in my stuff.
How did you get the fancy audition?
One of the teachers at my school, he was married to the woman, and she was quite a big deal. Her name was Mally Finn, and she
was a casting director?
Yes, she has transitioned on to non-physical now, but at the time she had done Titanic and a bunch of other huge movies. She was like sitting there, and it was for Foxfire, the Angelina Jolie movie. And she was like, "What are you gonna do when you graduate?" I was like, "Huh? What do you mean? I'm gonna go on auditions and whatever." And she was very sweet. This is gonna sound terrible, but she was like, "You're not old enough to be a character actress. You're not pretty enough to be the lead actress. You're not heavy enough. You're not thin enough. You're not gonna work for 15 years if you're lucky." And then I heard a sound, and it was the sound of my dream cracking and dying in front of me.
Hashtag I'm with Ian.
Yes. But I remember being like, okay, great, good. And I walked out on Paramount, on Paramount Street. I'm shaking. And I was
You
like,
walked out. That was the end of her.
She was like, "Thank you, I got done." She was like, "That was a good
And by the way,
audition."
casting person from Titanic.
You need
just
to get
qualify this.
Yeah, you need to get another job because you're probably not going to get. And she was right. She was right. So I went out and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, okay." And it was a beautiful gift she gave me because it was like, "Do you love this enough to know you are never going to make a dime, never?" And I was like, "Yep." Because I can't do anything else. Once you open that creativity of Pandora's box, whatever your creativity is, if you're not doing it, you're going to be a miserable fuck, and you're going to blame everybody
Let me
else.
amend, because she was not right.
But
she
was because it took. I'm 43. This didn't kick until I was.
It took you 15 years.
It took me. I was 31, and I had gotten a couple of and then, but
we all get those, but
yeah,
it wasn't 15 years.
31.
So to me, it was.
I was 21, 31, 32, right? Because I'm 43 right now.
Which is young.
Criminal Minds has been on 11 seasons, so I was 33.
Okay, so we have Jared at 32 in the booth, who thinks he's an old man.
Okay.
At 32.
Yeah. So it took me 12 years.
Okay.
And it was a one-line co-star on Criminal Minds, and I was only in the pilot because the show is too guy heavy.
But so she was wrong.
So I had 2 lines.
Well, it took 12 years.
No, but she said 15.
Exactly.
Okay, but it was 12, so she was wrong. And my takeaway though of what she said, which is similar to what you said, was that you just can't be thinking about the money aspect if this is what you love. So that.
And she gave me that. That was a big gift. And it wasn't cruel. If it sounds cruel, it was true. And because also I think what she saw in me is a person who is, I love doing this so much that I just want to do it. And I sometimes, even then, and I'm still the same now, like, I don't want to do a bad job. I don't want someone to pay me if I don't know what I'm doing. Like that kind of thing. So, that insecurity, I never walk into a job and be like, I have the right to be here. I'm working on that.
No entitlement, millennials.
But it's a good thing to have. It's a
entitlement?
It's a good suit to be able to put on. Not entitlement, but that you have the right to get a job, whether you're the best person for it or not, just because you want it. So if you've worked hard for it.
But you have to work at it. You're doing 2 plays a year. That's what's missing.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think people have to take away.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's a trick question because you can say like, well, I say to people, go, what do you do? How do you make it? You're like, okay, just do it and love it and figure out a way to keep doing it. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to be 100 years old and someone will say, have you ever met Kirsten? She's batshit crazy. She's never had any success, but she's super happy because she's doing something. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. And I guarantee you, if you keep doing something you love, it will hit in some weird way.
So let me ask you, if say you're a casting director and you're sitting down with 21-year-old Kirsten and you're looking at her and she comes to you and she does an audition, do you feel like you would open up and say exactly what?
No, I mean, but I would never be a casting director. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have that. I don't have that talent to be able to.
Right, but I'm just saying the advice that was given to you or what was said to you, that is something that would you say to somebody else who was.
No, I would say like, what are you doing? That's what I say to people. I go like, what are you doing? Like, you want to be an actor? Like, do you have a class that you take? If you have no money, do you sit with your friends and read plays in your house? Do you write things? Like, and this is my shameless plug.
No,
I'm a member of a theater company called Theater of Note. I have been a member there since I was 24. So, and I'm still a member there. It is my artistic home. I have acted on a tiny stage with 48 seats with, some of the best actors that I've ever worked with. And some of them don't have SAG cards. Some of them that's never been a thing for them. And some of them do. And some of them have been on stuff and whatever. So I did a play there called Kill Me Deadly, which was like a film noir spoof. There it is. And
the movie.
We decided once I got this fancy day job, I wanted to, there's a whole world of Hollywood that nobody knows about. And it's like a bunch of artists that make things, but they have like 16 day jobs just to try to make things. And then there's fancy glass ceiling Hollywood. And I don't know how I got above the glass ceiling, but I did. But this is my roots and I love it and I'm part of it. And it was like, how do you mush them? So we made a movie and it's a little crazy because some people's addictions are blow and strippers. Mine is making stuff. So it's about $1 million movie, and we Taft-Hartley'd everybody in the play.
See, Taft-Hartley is when
we made them union. If they weren't, we made people that did the wigs in our original production of Kill Me Deadly. We made them union hair people on our movie, and we did a movie, and we spent all the money to make sure everybody had a living wage. I made sure everybody had health insurance, and we shot it in Los Angeles, which nobody does, and it is a love letter to Los Angeles, and it's like a film noir spoof. We might never make a dime off of it. However, if you would like to see it, it's playing in Los Angeles.
I know it is.
For the next week.
I'm so excited for
and
this
And
movie.
I have postcards for everybody, but
Thank you. No, and you know what?
I
It's
put one in
Kill
my
Me
phone.
Deadly.
I do that.
It is playing locally in
Yes.
LA, and I'm sure it's going to be on iTunes and Netflix soon. But
It is.
But I love. First of all, I saw the trailer. I loved
did.
it. I'm an indie
Yeah.
filmmaker myself,
Oh,
so
yeah, I need that. Yeah.
I knew from the backstory what the heart that you put into it. But I'm
Yeah.
also a fan of old cinema.
Oh,
So
this
you
would-
totally
yeah.
nailed it.
It's like the Maltese Falcon meets Airplane. It's really, and it's gorgeous, and it's so neat to tap into the talent that's in Los Angeles. If anybody knows about these Equity 99 seat theaters that are everywhere, that there's so much talent in.
So much.
And so we got to use actors from that, and then also Joe Mantegna, Leslie Ann Down, Paul F. Tompkins, a lot of really fantastic actors.
Did you do Kickstarter or private?
What
funding?
we did is I paid for it until we got
love
to
you.
about
The $1 million.
it's a $1.6 million movie, and yeah, most of it's
So
my money.
you're
Damn,
not going to end
girl.
up. I was in Life and Style like this week for being bankrupt for making my film 20 years ago. So you're not going to. We're good, right? We have
No,
net-
because what I would
we
do,
have
it took
network
us
money,
us
right?
4.5 years to make that movie. I would go to my business manager and say, "How much money can I take out? Thank you." And then we would go and we would. It's the most ass backwards way to shoot a movie. Like we did it because we literally. It's me and 8 of my other intrepid theater people that I know that we decided to make this, and each of us had different skills. Mine is throwing money at a thing, and other people had better skills like directing and like being able to handle the books and all of that. And we made it all together, and it was a bit of a clusterfuck, but it happened, and it was really fun to mush theater and film.
Theater actors are the best.
We would do, yeah, and we
Because they
would
do
do
it for
one
the love,
take. Yeah, we would do
and
one
they
take.
get
We
it.
would do 12 pages, one take, and all of us would applaud when we were done, which you don't do in regular TV and movie land.
But theater actors are so used to repetition. It's like exercising a
Yeah,
muscle.
yeah.
I love working with theater actors because they nail it.
Yeah, and
You know?
that's, I mean, if I hadn't done all that theater, and some people have judgment about theater and they say, oh, that's from the play. Some people have judgment about theater actors, theater acting. They think it's too big, and I don't believe that. I think that your body adjusts to the size of the room you are in, and if anything, it teaches you how to be a one-take wonder, and that's why I kept my job, is because I had the ability to know that like. I mean, my brain doesn't understand. You get another take, and you can save people a lot of money by not having to do something again and again and say your lines right.
The best advice you can give the people coming up the ladder, because I'm sure you get asked all the time, because Maria does too. She gets asked all the time, how do I get your job? How do I get where you are? And I'm telling you guys, other than endurance and knowing it is going to be 15 years, or it could be 20 or 30 or 40 or maybe never.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you're a painter, no one's painting on their canvas saying, "Oh, I can't wait to I'm going to make 500,000 on this painting, 200,000." You're painting because you love to do it, and so if you love it, you're going to do it. But if you want to be the best, you have to work at it. And the problem I have that I see a lot is there are people who want to be famous, and then there are people who just love being in make believe and creating these characters and being creative. And
if fame
great
and
difference.
money made you happy, then we would see unbelievably happy, famous, and rich people.
Right.
And we don't. And that was one of the startling things that when this all happened, is I was like, why is everyone acting like such a dick? Not the people I work with. I don't mean like that. But like, you're sort of like amazed. I would be like, wow, you make all this money. All this pressure is off from your life. What is so offensive to you? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it
But
either.
it's because if you get all that hedonistic treadmill handed to you, and then there's nothing there. There's no there. Like, what are you doing? And I am so appreciative that I have this other stuff. I'm so appreciative. This is my like art baby, and I'm so happy that I have my day job, because if it wasn't for my day job, I couldn't do this. And I'm so proud of this, and I'm so proud that now we have people in the industry. I know 3 people off the top of my head that are working from being on the crew or an actor on Kill Me Deadly that is working in Los Angeles now on a TV show, in the hair department, in the makeup department, in the props department.
See, and we were talking earlier tonight about happiness, and I was saying how I've been with people on their deathbeds, and the one normal thing, the one resonating thing I've seen with all of them has been what they've done for others. And like just what you're saying is like, look at how you've been able to
Yeah.
How
Well,
some
and it's
people's
and
lives
it's
have been so
it's
positively affected
but
by
it's
this.
fun.
And it's fun.
It's
But
fu-
it always
it's fucking
is.
fun. Yeah.
But it always
Yeah.
is. And I always say all the time on sets, how did we forget this?
Yeah. And it's abundance economy. It's that belief that there's not, you always have to, I do it, everybody does it, but you have to make a practice, I think, of like, there's enough. There's enough to go around. There's
There
enough
really
for
is,
everybody.
especially today.
Being scarce, the scarcity makes you tiny and makes your life tiny. It makes your little world small. So if you don't have abundance, and it's easy, of course, it's easy for me to say because someone can be like, well, you on a show that runs all the time or whatever.
You get that all the time. I know.
But I had to start that. This is, I'm the girl that still had like the credit counseling place calling her nonstop. Like I was dirt poor and couldn't afford my $500 a month apartment at all. Like, and that I had to figure out a way to find abundance. And if that means abundance in like, look at how long I can be in this bubble bath, then that's where you find
that's
it.
what
You
do.
find a way to create that hologram inside your body. So somehow when it shows up in your world, what you want, you're not caught out of sorts, because I think a lot of times when abundance comes at you and you haven't gotten your body used to it,
right,
you'll blow it because you're not
I
used
know.
to it.
I mean, you see the studio and you saw the property, but I drive. I mean, I drive everyone makes fun of me, but I have like a 2004 pickup that I drive, and it's always about my Timberland boots and my Levi's, and because I always kept my mind there.
Right.
And even back in the day, it's funny you say the bubble bath. I'm like all the time, like, oh my god, a nice hot bath, you guys, just with like good fragrance and some candles is cheap. But it's a quick, easy, like just gives you a little fix. And whether sometimes it's binge watching TV.
Sometimes sometimes it's 5 orgasms. If you can do that.
And by the way,
if you can do that, God bless you.
Right.
I am not typically a speechless person, but I am completely in awe of what you've done.
Yeah.
You
see
worked with a group of people when you weren't at the place where you are now. Then you got to a place and people are always like, don't forget about the little people. Not that the people around you were little people, but then you made a movie. You paid for them all to be in it out of your own pocket because you love what you do. And I have no doubt
I
that
paid
I'm
for
gonna
most
watch
of it,
this
and
movie.
we did do it. We did do a $200,000 Kickstarter, and we did.
Okay.
We have a couple of other investors.
As
but
you should have, which is just a smart thing to do. I just cannot believe that this was your passion project, and you got to help out all.
By the way, and I
people.
do believe it because but that's exactly why. Here's why I believe it, Rox. This is exactly why an underdog like this comes out of a community college basically in a small city and makes it those are the effective habits. I know she's not gonna
and the thing is
it's
not self-deprecating. I get to work with geniuses that nobody knows about. Makes me look cool.
Okay, but other people do not have this perspective. They're the
I feel bad for them.
Well,
Kevin,
they're the unique snowflake. They have a different
to
by the way,
clarify-
no, listen. Hashtag I'm with Ian. I'm sure Ian will tell us all the reasons why. Tell us why now. Give us the counter, Ian.
No, I can only
But
tell
that's very
from our
sweet. Thank
own
you.
experiences making films that it's what a nightmare.
Yeah,
it can
Ian and
be.
I have made films together,
and
and they've been a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's because we didn't have people like you. But you know who was a lot like you? A little girl from your network by the name of Beth Bears. Do you know Beth?
Okay, true story. I did a play called Fat Pig. We're about to go full circle right now.
Here we
okay?
go.
Get ready. I'm
Here
going to
we
start with, at Theater of Note, one of my favorite actresses. Her name is Judy Levitt. She is married to Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov in the
Chekhov, hell yeah, he did.
Okay, here I go. I'm going like this. So I'm a theater girl, right? So I get cast because of Criminal Minds. I get cast in a Neil Butte West Coast premiere.
Love me
love
some
Neil
Neil
Butte.
Butte.
Called-
The-
yeah.
The
Of a play
Company of
called-
Men, if
yes.
you're a filmmaker.
Of a play called Fat Pig. And I play the fat pig. I gain about 20 pounds for it, and I wear a fat suit on top of it. If someone would have said to me, because you go through this thing as an actress, like, I have to lose weight, I have to be a certain size. And I still, you get sort of picked apart, and I have a alternative body shape in Hollywood land. So I go, I'm having a shame spiral because I said that, and it's okay.
It's okay.
So I
just being
get,
honest.
No one's judging you but Ian.
I know.
Hashtag I'm with
no,
Ian.
I have to say it myself. I got to go through it. Oh, that was the original. They're showing a bit of the original.
The fat
I wasn't in that one. I was in the.
If you don't know Reasons to Be Pretty, also like one of his best plays. So, he's so good.
Yeah,
Keep
he's
going.
great. So we do the West Coast premiere here, and it's with Andrea Anders, who is a wonderful actress who's been in a number of things.
Relate to Allison Andrews or no?
Andrea Anders? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Scott Wolf. And if someone would have told me, Kirsten, you're going to have to gain 20 pounds to roll around almost naked and have pseudo sex with someone that people consider super hot on a very well-to-do stage. I would have been like, what? But this is what happened. And a young man named Chris Pine, who couldn't get a job if his life depended on it right then. I mean, he was working, but he wanted like a better kind of thing. And ended up, the casting director who cast Star Trek came to this, and then he went on to the thing. But anyway, my point.
Never heard of him.
My point of that, there was a whole point. We were going full circle.
Little Beth Bears.
Oh, so here we go. So every day I go to the Geffen, super fancy, because at Theater of Note you have one bathroom. Oh, there we are. At Theater of Note you have one bathroom, and this has multiple bathrooms, and you have a green room and all kinds of fanciness. And every day you walk in and you say hi to all the ushers. Hi, Beth. Every day. Hi, Beth. Every day. And then, like, flash forward to 3 years ago. And I'm pals with Kat Dennings, too. So flash forward to, like, 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I don't know how long their show's been on. But, driving down Beverly Boulevard. And I'm like, why is Beth on what's happening? Yeah. And then so, like, magical to go to like, one of those CBS parties where you're with the CBS family. And, like, where's Beth? And just be like, you're here. Do you remember me? Like, it was a neat thing. And I mean, she's a genius.
So I'll tell you, Beth was at the Geffen working, and we were visiting Joan Rivers.
You and Maria.
Karen and I, aka Maria. We were watching Joan's one-woman show, which was phenomenal.
Amazing,
Did you see it? It was incredible.
I'd only heard and seen parts of it, but
it was phenomenal.
The whole thing.
And by the way, talk about a great education for women in the business. It was fantastic. And so Beth was working, and I grabbed her and said, you're an actress, clearly. And she said, I'm at UCLA, I'm a junior, and I'm studying. And I said, I go, no, you're not studying. You either are, you are, and you are. And I said, I want you to meet Maria, because Maria needs to meet you. Because I just saw her interacting. I knew she was a star.
Yeah.
So I pulled her over to Maria, and I said, Maria, and Maria was like, oh, yeah, she's amazing. And when I made my film, Adventures of Serial Buddies, my indie film, I said, okay, you don't even need to read. I'm flying you home. You're going to be with Maria, and you're going to be a star. It's funny, on a side note, there's another person who I saw perform in front of 11 people in an empty theater and said, okay, this person's also going to be a star. She was a little older, so she just wanted us to fly her husband back. Of course, I was like, of course, I understand you're like in your 30s, like you don't want to come back to Connecticut. Fine, we'll fly your husband. Well, Maria, aka Karen, ends up saying, we don't have enough budget for to fly the husband. Jared, where's my Karen drop? Come on, buddy, you sleeping in there? Thank you for cry eye. And that young lady turned out to win maybe an Emmy and I don't know, a few other things. Melissa McCarthy.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, needless to say,
you've got an eye.
So let's pull up.
Do you think I'll go places?
Okay, so let's pull up Captain Lou Albano interviewing the Golden Terror. So I want you to play along on the Tomorrow Show. Something we do. We like to. We go down the YouTube rabbit hole. And and I'm all in on the Kirsten V bandwagon. That's whatever. That's without a doubt. We're gonna bring you up. So I'm gonna bring you up.
What's happening?
This is a manager that. I'm going to give you a little backstory first. Let's pull him up. Let's get him up on the big
whatever
screen.
This is, I'm so looking forward to.
Okay.
Get ready, Kirsten. You're gonna.
Okay, so back in the 70s.
This looks like my dad.
Back in the 70s. So you're going to see on the right is Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
On the right.
Who
on my right?
On the yellow. He's in the yellow blazer.
Okay.
He runs to this day. He runs a WWE. On the left is the Golden Terror.
Sure.
And in the middle is Captain Louis Albano. Captain Lou.
I don't know that name.
Okay, it's fine. That's why I'm
She
gonna
said, "Why do I know?
Why do I know that name?"
Oh well, you'll know. He went on to do a lot of other different things.
I got it.
But back in the day when he was like you, just an artist, and he was just all about the belief, the passion, the creativity. Before MTV, before the movie Wise Guys, before Super Mario Brothers, before rock and wrestling.
Before the Cyndi Lauper video for the Goonies.
Before all of that.
He had a rubber band on his face. Yeah.
When he was in the Kirsten, the Theater of Notes phase.
Well, I'm always in the Theater of Note phase.
By the way, Captain Lou never left his phase of being the guiding light and the captain. So there was a big wrestler at the time named Haystacks Calhoun, who was like a big star wrestler and just beat everybody who came in his path. And at the time, this was probably in the early 70s, they were going to put Haystacks in a match against a superstar whose name I don't remember. The superstar gets injured a week before the match, and they go, oh, Jesus, what are we going to do? So they take a guy by the name of Pete Doherty from Boston, a.k.a. the Duke of Dorchester, who was pretty much just a drunkard and just, he was what you call a jobber. They beat him all the time every week, and then he'd just go drink his beers, and they'd give him his, C note, his $100 and say, call it a day. But they said, okay, we'll throw a mask on him. We'll throw a yellow mask on him. We'll give him a sequins, gold cape, and we'll call him the Golden Terror. You think it'll work? And so Vincent, not Kennedy McMahon, his dad, Vince Sr., says, you know what? It'll work if let's run it by Captain Lou. So Captain Lou, finishing up, taking a piss, and finishes off his cocktail, puts his cigar back in his mouth, goes, well, who's the guy? What are we going to do? Oh, it's Pete Doherty. We're going to call him the Golden Terror. And he's taking on Calhoun because, to be a main event at Madison Square Garden. And we're screwed because we've sold all these tickets. He's like, he burped and he's like, done deal. So out walks, from that moment, he walks on to where you're going to see. And we're going to play this first.
You can't possibly be ready for this right now.
We're going to play it first. And I just want you to know.
I'm overwhelmed by the story.
Because, listen, if Kirsten V had
or Kirsten V, but you can call me whatever you want.
No, but I've been drinking. So you know what?
Yeah.
If Kirsten.
Kier like ear. Beer.
Listen,
Kier like beer.
Beer.
Kirsten. Yeah, that's a good
like
one.
That.
Yeah, that's good.
If Captain Lou, by the way, you already got so far without Captain Lou, but if you had this in your life, so he's taking Pete Doherty, a.k.a. the Golden Terror, and he's going to figure out a way to make Pete Doherty sell out to Madison Square Garden. Oh, that's 20,000 seats. Really not something easy to do. So what we're going to do is Jared at 32, let's play Captain Lou's interview. Okay, we're going to play it once clean. Then we're going to do the dissection and play-by-play. Then I'm going to interpret it for you. Oh, I love this. And then we're going to break it down from there. Okay, so Jared, please play Captain Lou and the Golden Terror being interviewed by Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Thursday night. Are you ready for this Thursday night?
Does a cat have a tail?
Most of them do.
Do a pussycat walk through the woods? Is he ready? Look at the man. Can you see through the mask? You get a close-up of his eyes? Determination? Will to win? Mentally balanced, mentally competent? Physically fit? Speed? Agility? Power? Suplex artist? Chicken wing specialist?
Check.
Step over toe hold? Is he ready? Do a pussycat have a tail? Answer that, brother.
I don't think we've ever seen the Golden Terror use a suplex in the square.
Well, I think you're soft, so what? Maybe it's an optical illusion. Maybe you haven't been able to focus your eyes quick enough to catch the man in action. He's been known to suplex from his knees. Can you do that?
What does
Get Calhoun out here right now.
What does the Golden Terror have to say about this?
Don't say nothing. Quiet. All right? He's not talking, Bumblebee. How do you like that,
Wasp?
So there you have it. From Louis Albano and the Golden Terror. The Golden Terror will join.
Let's bring it back. Let's take it to the
Calhoun and many
top.
others this Thursday.
Let's take it back to the top. Okay, let's go again, and now we'll do a little play-by-play. Let me give you the.
This is theater.
Right? Let's give you the interpretation. Oh, it's far beyond.
It's the
theater.
Tomorrow Show
Go ahead.
favorite.
Here we go.
Thursday night.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for this Thursday night?
Okay, look at the laugh.
Does a cat have a tail?
Yes, it does.
Do a pussycat walk through the woods?
Pause. Okay, now look at that. Are you ready? So in other words, you audition for something. Can you imagine if you're auditioning for something and look at already? He just throws it right back at you. Do a pussycat have a tail? Well, Kirsten, does a pussycat have a tail?
You're like beer.
Yes, unless you're my cat Ginkin. He got his tail slammed on.
Okay, but you know what? Vince didn't. Lou, the captain didn't give you a chance because he fall right back up.
Right.
Do a pussycat walk through the woods? Didn't get because you know what?
You can't
really
say
not interested in your response.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the Golden Terror. Keep playing. Look at the laugh.
Is he ready?
Look at him.
Look at the man.
Right.
Can you see through the mask?
Okay, pause. Already taking control of the production too. Watch. Get a close up of the eyes. He's telling the cameraman what to do. Keep going, Jared.
Up of his eyes.
Yep.
Determination.
Yep. Clearly.
Will to win.
I noticed that one.
Mentally balanced, mentally competent,
Mentally balanced.
physically fit,
Yep.
Physically
Okay.
fit.
Well.
speed,
Yep.
Just
agility,
Maybe.
power,
I didn't-
suplex artist,
Yeah.
chicken wing specialist.
Okay, look at his eyes.
Step
Pause.
over top.
Pause.
Yes.
Did you see the Golden Terror?
Yes.
Even the Golden Terror
Yes.
looked over to Vince like, I don't really think I can do a chicken wing. But goddamn it, it's like Luke
Oh!
stayed committed.
okay. I thought that meant that you knew a lot
Like
about
KFC.
cooking
No.
chicken wings.
No. It's a move.
It's a move.
And you know what? And look at even the Golden Terror's like,
He's
"Geez,
worried.
geez,
He's worried about the
Captain
chicken
Lou.
wings.
I think you're going a little far. I mean, granted, maybe I have some speed, some
But
agility.
he is. You're
I
saying
do have a marginal will to win. But
Dr. Lou is endowing
Captain
him.
Lou is
Captain,
saying,
or a doctor. He's
Captain,
a doctor of endowment.
You're right. Okay, keep going.
Over toe hole. Is he ready? Do a pussycat
Have a tail?
Again.
Watch this.
Answer that, brother.
Pause. Now, okay, because Kirsten's new to this.
Yeah.
Lauren, we've discussed this off air because I've had to go this way for your music career. When he says, "Do a pussycat have a tail?" Answer that, brother. Lou really has no interest in Vincent K. McMahon Jr.'s response here.
No, he's irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Could care the fuck less. Go ahead, use up some mic time, say your throwaway line, but Lou.
But he's not even looking.
No, he's like, answer that, brother. But go ahead. So keep playing.
Answer that, but don't answer that.
Watch.
I don't think we've ever seen the Golden Terror use a suplex in the square.
Well, I think you're soft. So what?
There you go.
Maybe it's an
So
optical illusion.
what?
Maybe you haven't been able to focus your eyes quick enough to catch the man in action. He's
Probably.
been known to suplex from his knees. Can you do that?
Pause.
Get
Okay, keep going. Watch. He says.
Moon out here right now.
Pause.
What is the-
So now notice the counter. Could you imagine if next time we go to get, let's say we go get financing for your next film, and Ian, hashtag on with Ian, because he'd be the one who would be like,
Oh, yeah?
gee, you know,
Yeah, that'd be me too.
I
Super
noticed
friendly,
with this, but I noticed with this little film you made, yeah, you raised the money and it's great. It's a great film, critically acclaimed. But you know what? I don't care the fact that, like my film, 800,000 people pirated it. You didn't really make any money. So how do I, as an investor, invest in your movie where you've already made one and it didn't make money? And just at that point,
Does a pussycat have a tail?
well, so what? Maybe it's an optical illusion. Maybe you
So
haven't
what?
focused your eyes quick enough to go to the box office to see the receipts that come in. This woman's been known to make hundreds of $1 million. Can you make that? Go ahead. Get Weinstein out here right now. See that? He just countered.
He's very
He
excited.
That's
I
what I'm
see that.
saying. You don't even, Kirsten, Captain Lou did not even give chance for rebuttal.
Do you? And it does work. I guess
turned
what you're
it.
saying, because to
Look-
me, I hear you say that, I go, but we'll make people mad. But I think
No.
you'll confuse them so
Yes.
much.
Maybe it's an optical illusion.
Does
That's
she
right.
not sound like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz? Like
Yes.
that's what you.
She's on her
maybe we'll
journey.
confuse them. I love
But
it.
that's why the Dorothys of the world, they need Captain Lou the most. Keep playing.
Terror have to say about this?
Okay, pause. See? Vince, so there's your suit, who's all about the money. Oh, whoa. Okay, so what does your co-star have to say about this? Or what is keep playing. Quiet.
All right? He's not talking, Bumblebee.
Makes you
How
want
do
it
you like
more.
that, Wasp?
Pause. How do you like that, Wasp? Go right in for the insult. How do you like that, Jew? Right? Just go in. You just gotta. That's how you counter. Keep going.
How do you
So
like
there
that
have it.
right-hander?
From Louis, Alabama, when the Golden
Use
Terror,
any
the Golden
deodorant on
Terror.
occasion?
Use
will
any
join
deodorant
Haystacks
occasion,
Cow-
and he's out the
He's
door.
out the door.
Pause. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you had a Captain Lou, which, by the way, I would be honored.
Okay, well then done.
I would be
This is
honored.
my sword. I
But-
dib you.
But when I saw
Captain
Beth Bears,
Lou.
it was the same thing. There was no, done. There was never anything less than she was going to be a star. Same with Maria, by the way. When I met Maria, I'm like, no. She's like, I think I want to produce films. I'm like, no, stop. You're supposed to be on the other side of the camera. You can always produce films, and we will.
Yeah.
But you're a star.
And you do.
And there's no, and people look back, will always ask me about
Oh, and congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Do I have to wear that mask?
No.
Okay.
No.
Too pretty.
No,
Can't cover it.
No. But it was. Listen, you have talent. This is what
Yeah,
I'm saying. With
that's
what you could
amazing.
do with Pete Doherty, the
Yeah,
Duke
yeah.
of Dorchester.
Did he win?
No.
Oh.
And by the way, and you know what the best part is?
What?
After Haystacks Gill kicks his ass or whatever, do you think? So when your next film, after we get the money to make your next film and it doesn't make money, do you think Lou gave it a second thought? No. Do you think he answered for any of that? No, it was right on the attack again. It was right actually for on to the next scam. We're on to the next thing. I don't want to talk about that right now.
I love it.
Or it was an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Like that's the mindset. And when I look at that, I'm like, God, if I so wish he was alive. I wish I could have met him. But anyway, I'm in. I want to be the Captain Lou.
I like
for
this.
the next film.
Captain
I'm telling
Lou.
you.
Yes.
No, but by the way, none of this is. By the way, no. To bring it on a serious note, none of your success is a coincidence.
I don't. Yeah, no, I
It's
don't.
not.
I mean, well, and I mean that's a good thing for anybody is that like you try on enough shoes. If you go, there's a bajillion pairs of shoes, and you just keep trying them on. One of them is something is going to happen. You know, whether you're going to either not do that job anymore and do something else that you love, or you're going to do that. You know.
But you also work. But you also.
I
put the work in.
Oh yeah, I mean I was crazy. And what's nice is I know a bunch of actors. A lot of my friends are actors. And what was really lovely is I can't tell you how many people once it started to like kick and it seemed like because when I was a co-star and then they brought me back as a reoccurring and they brought me back as a guest star and then I wasn't in an episode and I thought,
what a journey.
That's it. And then they brought me back and I needed to borrow back one of my own skirts. And when I went to borrow it back, they thought that it was for a TV show and it's for a play. And then they gave me a series regular contract in the middle of the first season. And so I went from a co-star, which in TV land is 1 or 2 lines, to a series regular in 6 episodes. And then it's been 11 seasons. So, and I just say that because it's like, don't think that those little things, we all shame ourselves because the thing isn't cool enough, whatever it is. You know, it's not big enough, the thing we want, and this thing. But it's
of actors in Hollywood can get away with just being perspectives. We're for the terrorists. What did we learn tonight? Hashtag I'm with Ian. But no, that's a great perspective. But
I
you're
love
right.
that.
You're right. That's amazing.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a dick to the plumber, be a dick to everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
But even that doesn't fly with me because life's too short.
I agree.
And we are making make believe when we make these projects. And because the money is going away, we have more celebrities than we ever have.
Yeah.
Right? It's people like you that say, you know what? I want that in my production. I want someone who gets it. Anyway, none of this is coincidence. This is such a joy.
Oh my God, it was a joy for me too.
Just know we just started on our little journey here.
I know. I just listened to episode 1.
Okay, so you're please invited anytime you
anytime
want.
you want.
You also have Maria's show too.
I know.
And,
I'm gonna sit down there and just drink beers and random episodes.
I have
Just
whiskey
get my
if you
back
prefer.
whenever he comes after me.
Oh.
No, by the way, and anytime you do want to come host, you come do it. But I also do want to. I want to talk. I'm in. I love.
He wants to be your Lou.
No, I am. I want to be your Captain Lou because I am saying to come out of this situation, not that you came out of a bad situation, but people like us. I'm a history major from, a small college in New Hampshire. So when I sit with people, it's always New York Film Academy or Emerson or UCLA Film School or so people like us.
Best manager in Hollywood who gets paid in 10% karma.
Karma.
I
I get good karma.
I
That's
like
all I
it.
get paid
He
in.
does,
Is good karma. Okay,
I
so
know.
listen, you guys. I want to shout out to Theater of Note. I want to shout out to, please, what's the name of the movie?
Kill Me Deadly, and
Kill
it's
Me
playing
Deadly.
at the Araya Fine Arts on 8556 Wilshire Boulevard, April 1st through the 7th, and you can go to thelemley.com and get
Please.
tickets.
You guys, please listen. Looks like you've been down this road. This is the time. If you're in LA, please go see this film. Please go support it because you're supporting independent filmmaking, and it'll make a big statement for you and your
Thank you so
movie too.
much.
No, we've
It
been
really
down
will.
this road.
Yeah.
Believe me. And Criminal Minds.
And Criminal
By the way,
Minds.
and I love the idea for season 12. You singing in a band.
Okay, good.
What a great
Glad you're saying
idea.
that,
No,
too.
but I know you threw that out there. I
Yeah.
read it on the research, right?
Are
But
you
Yeah.
musically talented?
My dad was a very amateur.
do a
artist.
pussycat have a tail?
Oh,
Do a pussycat
this is my
walk
new
through the
favorite
woods?
thing.
Right?
Yeah, I am.
I'll just stand behind him as he shouts and go.
And by the way, no, but Rox, good instinct to ask that question, but at the same time, come on,
Doesn't
this girl
matter.
she can do anything. Look at her.
Well, I know that she's honest. She said she's a very talented actress, and I agree with her. So
I can
figured
sing
she
pretty
would
good.
say.
I'm a mezzo
Yeah.
soprano. I can hit a note.
Okay,
Kirsten,
I believe you.
Yeah.
They're trying so hard to get us out of here. Thank you.
Oh.
No. You're good. You're good. Thank you to Adrian. It's hashtag Adrian Strong, right?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
a hashtag.
hashtag
Please, we all need, despite Ian, the rest of us need to support her.
But she's also at Adrianne Haslet.
And
Okay.
limsforlife.com.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
I know.
Goodness.
Everybody
Rox,
in the chat
anything else?
fucking loves her.
Anything
too.
else that we can say? as we
We're
sign
everywhere
off?
at The Tomorrow Show. Find us at thetomorrowshow.com, or if you missed us on our website, you can also find us on iTunes. So make sure 7 to 9, that's when we're live.
And hashtag I'm with Ian. And by the way, in all honesty, if you hit at Maria Menounos and let her send us to the
Oh,
Boston Marathon
we're trying to
on
go to
Monday.
the Boston Marathon. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
at Maria Menounos, send CTS
Kirsten,
to the
Karen
tomorrow.
runs the show, so it's just whatever Karen says, you know.
I like it.
go.
I like it.
Jared 32. How about a Karen drop? Right? No.
No, he didn't want
Can't do it. You don't want to step on Van Morrison, them. You guys, please make it a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to The Tomorrow Show with Keven Undergaro. For guest bookings, questions, or comments, you can email us at info@thetomorrowshow.com. Be sure to follow us on social media and tell a friend about the show. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, your voice of tomorrow, wishing you a better one.